In this video, we're going to get into our very first major topic, which is derivatives. So we want to at least understand where our resources are. And in the Spiceland book, we're looking at Appendix A, where we're going to learn all about derivatives, including why do we use derivatives. In the codification, in the FASB codification, we're under broad transactions, and we're looking at Section 815, derivatives and hedging. And we're going to go through each of these subtopics overall of a review of derivatives, embedded derivatives, hedging general, fair value hedges, cash flow hedges, and net investment hedges. We're not going to get into whether derivatives are contracts in the entity's own equity, but we're at least going to have some discussion this semester on subsections 10 through 35 under ASC 815. So let's start asking the first question, and that is, what the heck is a derivative? So we've got our very first question, what is a derivative? And with many of these things, the first answer to these kinds of questions is pretty simple. And anything that we really are dealing with, whether it is a sale or a purchase or a loan or anything, it all comes down to one thing. It's a contract. It's a contract that compels one party to do something else. So why do we call it a derivative? So it's a contract that derives its value, its fair value, from another asset. Liability, market price, exchange rate, etc. Okay? So it is a contract that is written that compels one counterparty to execute on on one side of the contract and another counterparty to execute on the other side of the contract, where the contract's value is derived, the contract's fair value is derived from something else, right? So from a known asset. So why do organizations get into these types of contracts? Well, as you notice when we just opened up the textbook there, it was very clear. One of the reasons is to hedge risk. So what do we mean by hedge risk? Well, in other parts of the financial statements, we may have a potential risk that exists that we do not have any way to manage. And we are not in the business of managing that. So maybe we are a car manufacturer and we use steel and other types of commodities to build our cars. Well, I'm just interested in building cars and selling cars. But I have a risk, in this particular case, the car manufacturer has commodity price risk. And they have really no way of controlling that. So what could they potentially do? Well, if you think about enterprise risk management, and hopefully you'll get some exposure to that this semester or in auditing. How do you manage risk? Well, you either just accept it or you reject the entire idea of engaging in the event, or you try to control it. Well, trying to control commodity price risk is not a very easy thing to do. In fact, it's almost impossible to do. So what I can do with this risk is I can share it. So we're going to accept the risk, but we're going to share it by engaging in some kind of contract with a Goldman Sachs or a JP Morgan Chase or whoever. And they're the ones who are going to sell me this contract. They'll be on one side of the contract, I'll be on the other. And I will write the contract such that I am not completely eliminating, but potentially just minimizing my commodity price risk. And so if I had foreign exchange risk, I might do a contract to get rid of some of my foreign exchange risk. If I had interest rate risk, I could write a contract. If I had an asset that had a fair value, and I was interested in, I was concerned that the fair value of that asset was going to go down, I can get into a contract to hedge that risk. The risk that the fair value of my asset is going to go down, or the fair value of my liability was going to go up. I can hedge that risk. So one of the main reasons why you see organizations get into derivatives is for hedging risk. The other big reason is just pure speculation. This is just pure speculation. In this particular case, we're dealing with derivative desks who are engaging in these particular transactions solely for the purpose of making money. And that's it. They believe that they can evaluate the markets and find exactly when they can buy low and sell high. And that's purely for speculation. And the reason why they do this is because of some of the items that we're going to discuss in the next video as to why this type of speculation is a lot more interesting and a heck of a lot more dangerous for individuals who are getting into this. And if speculation is more dangerous, then engaging into these for hedging risk is also as dangerous.